I'm Susan Caruso, the founding director of Sunflower Creative Arts in Delray Beach, Florida, and you are listening to the Sunflower Bridge podcast, where we talk about being with children.
And my name is Lindsey Mills. I'm the co-creator of Sunflower Bridge. Take a big, deep breath and smile with us.
I'm here in my cozy flannel shirt. I just love this shirt so much.
It's a great shirt, Susan. I
Thanks.
love that shirt.
Yeah.
Can I
like
have
too.
it?
What?
Can I have that shirt? I love it. I would really like it.
To share or not to share? That is the question.
That is quite a
That's what we're going to
question.
talk about. For I don't think that I would like you to have this shirt. I don't think I.
But I want it.
Yeah. So, but maybe I should share it, or maybe I could ask you for something. Can I borrow you? Can I have your van? Can I borrow your van? Will you share it with me?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, that's something that I would have to think about.
Yeah. So, adults have to think about if they're going to share something or not. It's not a totally natural thing at all. There are very young children, before 2, that will, give you a piece of their cookie, will give you their whole cookie, back and forth and back and forth and all that. And we kind of mistakenly think, oh, look, my child is she's sharing everything with everybody. And that's not really what that is at that developmental stage. That is cause and effect. And they're getting a great reaction, They're not really thinking they lost the cookie, and they have a pile of cookies anyway.
Totally.
So, but the idea of sharing is a very contentious thing. Sunflower, we've been noted as the school that doesn't believe in sharing because we don't force kids to share.
Yeah.
We don't make them share because we understand who they are developmentally, and we understand that they have to have before they can share.
Ooh.
And we want it to come from within them. We don't want them to be sharing something begrudgingly. Like if somebody came over and said, "Susan, come on, Lindsey really wants that shirt,"
asked
and
nicely.
I'm like, and I would, if I had to and gave it to you, I would be really resentful, and I would be afraid that you would hurt my shirt, and I would never get it back again. And so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So what do we want? We are always looking for the intrinsic motivation rather than the extrinsic motivation, doing something because it's the right thing to do. And developmentally, young children don't get sharing. It doesn't seem like sharing. It seems like giving, that I'm going to lose that forever. How do I know that I'm ever going to get it back? And the adults that are looking on only see this kind of moral dilemma.
Right. We moralize it. We put our own experiences onto that situation. I love that. What came to mind just now when you said that they really don't understand it. It's object permanence. It's that at a really young age, that I've seen a 2-year-old watching a movie, and every time the character leaves the screen, she would say, "Where'd he go? Where'd he go?" And it takes time and experience to begin to put those things together, those abstract concepts of even if I can't see something, or even if someone else is holding something, that doesn't mean that I will never hold it again. That doesn't mean that it disappeared. But they genuinely are still figuring that out.
Yeah, so that's a piece of it. The other thing is that they have to own something. And 2-year-olds, they want lots.
Yeah.
They want all of the buttons. They want all of the Cheerios. They want all of the teddy bears, all of the dolls. They want all of the trikes. They want all of everything.
Yeah.
And they need to have all, because they need to have that sense of ownership. And what we've seen is that children need to own before they can be generous and share. So if you want, and what all parents want, is they want a compassionate, empathetic, generous child.
Sure.
But you have to have ownership first. to understand that, to have it, and to really be able to put yourself into that other person's shoes, you know, to see, yeah, she wants it as much as I do. I can give a little bit here.
Yeah.
So it's a different concept because in a lot of schools it is share, 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 and we hear it outside of our program on the playgrounds and all kinds of things. You know, be good, be nice, share, and it's just such a foreign concept to young children.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. There's a lot going on there. So the developmental stage, the ownership, the desire for intrinsic motivation rather than making somebody share, or the worst thing you could do is grab something out of a kid's hands and give it to somebody else. It's just, that's really not the good way to model.
That is one of the first examples, I think, that really clicked for me about why you don't always need to enforce sharing is, as adults, let's say, you know, I'm writing on my paper and I'm in the middle of my work and my coworker comes over and snatches my pen out of my hand. Is it fair to say, well, I needed the pen, so you had to share. You have to share. It makes no sense when we put it in that context. You can really see why a child might be pretty mad if that is what happens.
Yeah.
Or disoriented by that, where it feels like a violation somehow because we were not prepared. We weren't included in that moment.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? You know, there are two children that want, you know, the one child wants all the teddy bears and you come along and you want one of the teddy bears and you're trying to grab them and this and that. And then we end up in problem solving, conflict resolution. But the idea that we want to get is we do want that generosity of heart. We want them to be able to empathize with the other person. And so how do you get there? You get there by not saying share, share, share without kids knowing what that means, or you have to, but you say, you've got it now. You've got it. You've got the ownership. Can you let Lindsey know when she can have one of those bears? And when you put it in that way, you're making space for that generosity. You're making space for them to, okay, I have it. I can give it to you, And so maybe it'll take a long while. Maybe it just takes an adult saying that. Will you and I'm not saying give Lindsey one of your bears.
Right.
I'm saying you've got them. Let Lindsey know when she can have one of those bears, or let Lindsey know when she can have a turn. This shows up lots of times in playgrounds all over the world.
Yes.
When there are, 3 or 4 bucket swings, which we don't have any bucket swings at Sunflower, but or any kind of swing. I guess it could be any kind of a swing.
Yes.
And there is just one swing, and there are a lot of children that want to use that swing. So that's a problem. At Sunflower, the kids have gone through that problem solving over and over and over again. So they figure it out themselves. And it really is a matter of turn taking. And then but they have to understand that a turn is then you get it back, or you're taking turns, you're passing it back and forth. I'm taking a turn on the swing, and then you'll have a turn, and then I'll probably get another turn. And that's an older child, a 4 or 5-year-old will really get that more than a 2-year-old will.
And that is a kind of another facet of the conversation, is that when you're the adult in that situation, at Sunflower, our number one role as teachers is to make sure that everyone's safe and that no hurting is happening. So if the swing is being turned into a bludgeon, then the teacher's first role is to step in and say, ooh, I see we have a problem. This is a problem. What's going on? And to talk through the feelings of the person who is taking a long turn and the person who is waiting a long time. And I think that took a while for me to see it in action, to understand there is a real need at times for long turns.
Right. And so you've got two people there. You've got somebody that has it, that's taking a long turn. You have another child who is waiting, who doesn't want to wait, isn't happy about waiting, might want to just yank that person off of the swing, or cry, or just be really sad. So you've got two people. And so you say to, you go to the one who's not swinging, say, it looks like you really want to swing. Did you let Susan know that you want to swing? Did you tell her? And so that's one thing, because sometimes they might not even know. They're having a great time swinging, and they don't even realize that anybody is there that might want to turn. That doesn't happen too terribly often, but so we just take them through the steps. Did you tell her, no, Susan, I want to turn, And so then
you let her know.
Yeah. And as the adult, you can say, Susan, will you let Lindsay know when you're done, when you're all done? And then you say those kinds of words. And it makes an opportunity for them to have that empathy, for them to genuinely share, for them to genuinely have, end their turn and give it to somebody else.
Right. Yes. And many times it isn't that the child is going to be on the swing until the end of the day. It's just that right now they're on the swing, and so we're modeling patience. We're modeling, that there are going to be moments when you have to just find a way to cope with not getting what you want.
Yeah, so you address that, so say, Lindsay, Susan's going to let you know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do while you're waiting?
What are you going to do
What are you going to do while you're waiting? And usually what happens, even if, Susan's on the swing and Susan says, I'm not getting on the swing ever. I'm going to swing until I die.
Yes.
I'm going to swing and swing and swing. Oh, it's going to be dark. You're never going to get a swing.
Yeah.
And then the adult will say, so Lindsay, what are you going to do while you're waiting? And then Susan says, your turn. Here, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Right.
It happens, and our adult judgments and our adult experiences, when there wasn't somebody that let us have the swing for as long as we wanted, jumps in there and makes it messy for the kids,
Because we have genuine fears of the things that we love and desire being taken from us, and that's valid. It's not that as you said, we're against sharing. It's much more complex than that.
No, we want we want real, authentic sharing, rather than because somebody told them that they had to, or somebody's, up there policing the swing. Okay, you had 3 minutes, and there's no learning that happens then.
Yeah.
So we're looking at everything as an opportunity for learning. And it's hard when you remember, when it triggers you as an adult, when you really, really wanted the swing, and this kid is on for, a really long time, and you never got a swing, and maybe you didn't even have anybody to support you. You didn't feel. I certainly would never, ever in a million years have said to somebody, can I have a turn on the swing? I would have just waited there and not said anything.
Right.
And so it plays into that being an empathetic person, being able to see how somebody else feels, and you can't do that unless you've had it yourself. And for us as adults to make that space for that true empathy, that true sharing to happen, and it's not going to happen at 2, generally not.
Yeah.
It's really is developmental, and it's experiential too. Because if you have adults in your life that let you have what you need to have, then that you've had it, you've felt
You're
satisfied. Yep. And nobody's taking it away or forcing you to share, then you can be much more generous. We see incredible compassion in our Seedlings preschool children because they have all that experience. It's messy. It's really messy. And anybody that's heart's been broken because their child is there waiting for the swing and somebody else is on it, if you use these tools, you're going to move farther along in the whole idea of that. And then, your child is going to see some modeling of true sharing, and they'll have that experience. So they're going to be, they'll also be generous, and not because you made them or somebody else did, but because they really feel it. That's what we want.
Yeah, I also want to validate the experience of the child on the other side, that if your child is the one who is taking a long turn, that I've seen that inspire some guilt or embarrassment in the adult in the situation. I myself as a nanny have experienced it, where you're on the playground and the child in your care is the antagonist in the situation, and we can be really quick to make judgments about how that's mean or that's naughty or whatever.
It's not nice.
Right, not nice. Then
you should share.
Yes, but in fact, that child really doesn't have this whole agenda to make somebody miserable. It's
they just want to swing.
Just that they want to swing.
just like the other child does. And so then we're the ones that bridge that and try to satisfy both of those needs. And it always works. It really does.
Takes some practice and some experience, but yes, children will amaze you when you show them the possibilities, when you show them, oh, you get to decide what you do right now about this.
Mm-hmm. And without shaming and blaming and putting all of that that so many of us had as children. So we can do we can do something different, and what we want is empathy. What we want is them to be generous, and each time they do that in an authentic way, really intrinsically from themselves, that is building that. So that's the way you build it, not by forcing people to share.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You could borrow my shirt. It's going to be a little big on you, Lindsey, but it's going to look cool as long as you give it back.
That sounds great. Thank you, Susan. You can wear my shirt.
No, I can't. I could wear it on just one part of my body.
Thank you for joining us today. We are always giving lots of great insights into our methods that we use in Sunflower on our Instagram. So check us out on Instagram at Sunflower Creative Arts. Or if you have something you want to share with us, then we'd love to hear what you do in these situations or what has worked for you. You can send us an email at lindsey@sunflowercreativearts.org.